The Aviation Matters bring you all the latest information and events across the country under the Honorable Minister of Aviation on executives, policies, projects, and everything that's related to the aviation transportation industry. Stay tuned.
On this week's Aviation Matters, we will be looking at the activities of the Nigerian Accident Investigation Bureau, the AIB. The AIB is under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Aviation and is charged with the responsibility to investigate any civil aircraft accident and serious incidents arising out of or in the course of air navigation and occurring either in or over Nigeria or occurring to Nigerian aircraft elsewhere. The fundamental objective of the AIB is to improve aviation safety by determining the circumstances and causes of air accidents and serious incidents and providing safety recommendations intended to prevent reoccurrence of similar accidents. The purpose of this is not to apportion blame or liability. In the past, accident investigations were conducted by the Civil Aviation Department of the Ministry of Aviation. The CAD also handled airworthiness certification in addition to its investigative functions. These functions were separated to comply with ICAO Annex 8 Airworthiness of Aircraft and Annex 13 Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation to avoid issues with objectivity. In 1989, the Federal Civil Aviation Authority, the FCAA, was created and the Civil Aviation Department became the Department of Safety Services within the new FCAA, and a new investigative department, Accident Investigation Bureau, the AIB, was created under the Federal Ministry of Aviation. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Policy of 2001 recommended the creation of a financially independent accident investigation and prevention bureau, which shall operate as an agency to guarantee expeditious response and movement of staff to accident sites. The policy also states that the Bureau shall be responsible for the investigation of aircraft accidents and serious incidents, as well as publication of investigation reports. The Civil Aviation Act 2006 is the primary law that established the Accident Investigation Bureau as an autonomous agency that reports to the President of the Federation through the Honorable Minister of Aviation. The Bureau is headed by a commissioner who is also the Chief Executive Officer. The AIB Commissioner, Engineer Akin Olateru, gave an insight on the activities of the Bureau.
Was created in 2007 via the Civil Aviation Act of 2006. Our main function is to investigate accidents and serious incidents. And the whole essence of that investigation is to prevent reoccurrence by issuing the right safety recommendations to relevant stakeholders to prevent the reoccurring of that accident or serious incident.
Engineer Akin Olateru said the Bureau has achieved a lot since he assumed office, which amongst them includes infrastructure, procurement of drones, release of accident reports, safety recommendations, and many more.
So, in terms of infrastructure, we added two more regional offices. We set up what we call a command and control center in Lagos, because Lagos has the highest aircraft movement in Nigeria. Federal government of Nigeria gracious to us, they approve the purchase of a mobile office unit, whereby you can actually deploy to site. Because one of our handicap is you have an helicopter that crashes somewhere in the bush. How do you operate out of that bush? So that's why we came up with this idea to have a mobile office where it's going to have a toilet, there's a generator, there's a conference room in that office where you can do meetings, there's a fridge, there's a kettle, internet access, computers, printers, all the safety kits on board. So you just move that to the site. So that's God willing. We pray we have more money. We can at least have one more. So one will be in Lagos and one will be in Abuja, and that way we can deploy to the nearest. So that's in terms of infrastructure. We've upgraded our website. Now you can go to our website and query information. Mind you, all our reports are on our website. Um, so you can query, you can type in airline X, and then it will give you all the reports, all the occurrences on that airline X. You can search by using a particular type of aircraft, which it will give you all the details as well. And then another thing we've done is to procure drones. Drones are extremely useful for accident investigation, especially at the crash site. We use drones now to do what it calls um, safety assessment of the site, so that you can see what kind of danger, because you need to protect your staff as well. The staff will be exposed to, and then you prepare with the right PPE before they go into that crash site. Two, it helps us to do area photography. It helps us to do mapping, and then it's you can measure distances. You need to investigate accident, come up with safety recommendations, and ensure they repeat. It doesn't happen again. Ensure it doesn't repeat itself. That is the whole essence of accident investigation. Is for safety. It is not to blame. It's not a blame game. Some people think, yes, you've investigated, tell me who is at fault. Ours is not to apportion blame. It's to enhance safety. And so that's our byproduct is safety recommendations. So again, when you look at the numbers, AIB was set up 2007, like I said, and up until 2016, up to January 2017, to be precise, AIB had released 19 final reports, right? And then since January 2017 till date, AIB had released 49 final reports, and that gives a total of 72%. So you can imagine 2017 till date, we've done 72% of the total work done since, and the talk of safety recommendations, we've issued 139 safety recommendations to aircraft manufacturers, to airlines, to NCA, the airport authority, service providers, etc., etc. While prior to January 2017, AIB had issued 81 safety recommendations, and that's about 36.8%. That's one thing we do in AIB, and that's what we've been doing since I came on board, to review all our systems, processes, and procedures, including our regulation, including our manuals, the way we do things. Now we've changed the way we do accident investigation. It's still in line with ICAO and X13, but we've introduced some few things now. It's completely different. And when you finish investigation, we do what they call group review. We bring in all the investigators together into a room. We'll go page by page. We all sit down. We analyze the report. We critique it. We do all that before we now send it for proofreading, to proofread that report. They don't change any of our technical jargons, but they make sure it's a simple, clear, plain English and correct English language. And then we send it for 60 days to the stakeholders to comment. Let's hear from you. Did we do it the way it's supposed to be? Or are there any things you notice that we've missed? or there is any information you want to give us, things like that. And then we come back again, we do a final review before we release to the world. So that way, we've put in a very good credibility to our product, which is a report. And now we rarely get any substantial comment from even aircraft manufacturer, engine manufacturers, stakeholders today. Most times it's we don't have comments. That means we've done the report the way it's supposed to be. Had France signed an MOU with us to help the francophone countries when they need help, because France is getting busier with their Airbus product, and then the accident investigation agencies may not have time to help any of these francophone countries, and that was part of the essence why they want us. We signed an MOU with them so we can help the francophone countries in case they need help. Um, we have a republic of Benin that ceded all their investigation to Nigeria. If they have, that's the MOU we signed. If there's any occurrence in the Republic of Benin, Nigeria as a country will step in and do the investigation for them. We've done that for Sao Tome and Principe. We've actually investigated a crash in Sao Tome and Principe. That was done effectively. We have Sierra Leone. We've helped Sierra Leone to review, to set up. We've helped Gambia to set up their accident investigation bureau. We help with the drafting of we help with the drafting of the rail regulation, the act, and etc. Ghana a few weeks ago came to Nigeria to learn from our success story, and they were marveled.
Federal government had approved the upgrade of material science and flight safety laboratories to enhance accident investigation in the aviation sector. To this, the commissioner said the bureau has procured different laboratory equipment to help its investigations.
Lot of equipment. When I came on board, the flight safety lab was in comatose. It was dead. You could not even power the computer. Everything was dead. Um, we went back to the original manufacturer, the OEM, and came up with a proposal. We agreed on the way forward, and then again, Federal Executive Council approved the Back to Life program for the safety lab. And from this safety lab, we don't have to send you call black box, the CVR and the FDR abroad anymore for download. We have it right here in Abuja. We can download CVRs, we can download FDR to aid our investigation. And this laboratory is first of its kind in Africa. It's rated, in terms of capability, it's rated number 5 in the world today. So it's a world-class flight safety lab, and it's accredited by ISA's International International Society of Air Safety Investigators. So that's and through this, we've been assisting some countries as well, which I will come to that. Having this lab really, it helps us human capital development. We can develop capacity locally as against, capital flights, because you pay for this stuff to be sent abroad and stuff like that. Number 3 is we get real-time information from the downloads. We don't have to wait for one country to send us the downloads and all that before. And then we can analyze the data here. And then another good thing about this lab is we can, through animation, we can recreate the events of the accident, which is something we find very, very useful, because it helps us in accident investigation. Another good thing about this lab is what makes it unique is it can actually download from what we call damaged recorders. it has a capability. We can, when a recorder is damaged due to impact, due to whatever, we can actually still get information from the chip. And there are very, very few countries in the world that has this capability. Uh, if you, we had guys from Singapore, the investigators came here the last time, and they were so marveled because Singapore doesn't have what we have here in terms of capability.
The commissioner, Akin Olateru, said all is set for the launch of its world-class Air Accident Investigation Training Institute as the project reaches 92% completion. According to him, the Bureau is setting up a training school which is the first of its kind in the history of Africa. That will be the first in the entire region.
We need to, because training, as you agree with me, training is key. You need to constantly train your investigators so that their skills, because things changes as you go along. So rather than we do train in Cranfield University in the UK, we train in Southern California Safety Institute, we send some to Singapore Academy, and we felt, why can't we domesticate this? Why do we need to keep on for refresher courses, etc., safety awareness courses, hazard identification courses, also? And then we decided to form a training school here in Abuja, and it's, to me, it's going to be a world-class institution because we've got countries involved in developing the curriculum. We've Cranfield University has helped us as well. Singapore Training Academy, USNTSB, that's our partners, our colleagues in the US. They've helped in putting that curriculum together. Supported with, it's going to have 30 rooms, 4-star, so that because we want to attract international investigators to come into Nigeria. I mean, right now, there is no school in Africa where to train air accident investigators. You need to send them to Europe, send them to Singapore, or you send them to America. And this is what we're taking advantage of. We should have our own in Africa so we can bring them in, train them. We use it for ourselves. So it's going to be some form of IGR for AIB as we go along so that we can earn some forex at the same time keep our forex exchange.
When asked why the Bureau has not been releasing reports on military crashes in Nigeria, he explained.
AIB has come alive. That's why when the military one happened, it's not our purview, it's not part of our mandate to investigate military crashes. But the military invited us because they know we have what it takes to investigate this properly. And that's why they seeded, they called for assistance to help investigate that crash. And we've done that, and the preliminary report has been submitted to the Chief of Air Staff. You have to understand the fact that this is a military crash, not civil. We cannot publicize that report unless we have the approval of the military. So that is the only report we have not put out there. But every other report back to 1990, whatever, is on our website. You're free to go. It's free. You can download it. You can read it. Some student uses our report now for research. If you go to Cranfield University, some of our reports are being used as case studies today.
He called on other African countries that is yet to establish an aircraft accident investigation agencies to do so as it has numerous benefits attached to it.
The thing with accident investigation is a very, very expensive process, but there is so much to learn. There is so much you can benefit as a nation because for people to fly, they need to have confidence. Why are we having so much passengers traveling by air today? because people don't have confidence traveling by road, most roads, right? So people will fly. So now, but for people to continue to be flying, they must have confidence in air travel. And if we, which we've done, you look at the last 6 years, we've only had one fatal crash in Nigeria in terms of civil operation. There are very, very few countries in the world today that can boast of that record, so that safety record. So we've done excellently well in securing our airspace, in ensuring air travel is safe, and that has put in that instilled that confidence in the minds of the traveling public. So for nations, some African countries still don't take accident investigation serious because I'll put it this way, they don't understand the benefit to the nation. And that's why we're encouraging some countries to come on board. And we've set up an association called Bagaya. We have 7 countries as members: Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Liberia, and Gambia, and Cape Verde, right? These countries has come together to support one another. Of course, Nigeria is leading.
The AIB has commenced the process of revolutionizing air accidents and incidents reporting and investigation in Nigeria with the recent launch of its mobile app. The launch of the mobile application would enable the public to immediately report aircraft incidents and accidents to it directly rather than through a third party or any other social media. The launch of the app, which took place last year when the Bureau released final 4 accident reports, has been widely applauded by aviation stakeholders. Engineer Akin Olateru said the launch of the AIB mobile application remains one of the many processes to ease communication and providing a safer sky for the flying public. According to him, the application will enable anybody who has downloaded it to report any air crash or air incident to AIB for prompt investigation. He noted that if the AIB had quick access to information, it will prevent reoccurrence of serious incidents or accidents in the sector, stressing that the current management had done a lot to ensure improvement in that sector.
Came up with a mobile app whereby you don't need to come to our office. In the past, when there's an occurrence say in Sokoto, you need to come to AIV office in Abuja before you can make your notification. All that is gone now. You can actually go on our website and notify us. You can download AIB Nigeria app, which is ISO, is on Android and Apple Store, and then you send us a notification. You can take pictures. We encourage passengers as well to download this AIB app because sometimes some passengers will give you a different perspective to the whole occurrence. So that's why we've been trying to market that to ensure every flying passenger has that on their phone because the day occurrence will happen, you may not have the notice. So, and once that app is clicked, sent, it will hit 10 email addresses straight away, and that's the notification. Part of the notification goes to this command and control center. And from this same room, we can track our investigators and see which one is closest to this accident spot. And then we'll deploy straight away. So there's some form of tracker that we give to our investigators.